Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we have a great race in store for you here, as we have some really good racers here. We may have to adjust the mics here. Let us know how we sound, as we've been messing with those sounds here just a little bit here this afternoon. So definitely let us know how the sound is, especially once these cars get going here on to the track. That being said, let's jump right into the sponsors here that have made this race and broadcast possible. Starting on the racing side of things, of course, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the following partners to cover this race. Those do include Evidence-Based Mommy. That is your pole award here for tonight's race and every other race this season. Make sure you check them out on social media. Hilton Crafts and Designs. That was in 2017, and that was the last race sponsor, and they are a season sponsor, so make sure you check them out as well. And of course, coming on board here, brand new, is the Caldwell Lawn Care Services. Make sure you check them out. Of course, if you need any lawn care services in the North Carolina area, make sure you definitely give them a call. Check them out over on Facebook. And of course, they are also the sponsor for tonight's race. This is the Caldwell Lawn Care Service 100. As of course, we have 100 laps here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And of course, we wouldn't be here broadcasting this also if it wasn't for the following partners here for VRN for 2019. Those do include, of course, Northwest Racing Series, Wolves Beard Co. Beard Balm, RaceOnTexas.com, SimSpeedShop.com, iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, and of course RaceScore. And all of these great partners coming on board here for 2019. We're glad they're here. Hopefully everyone out there is enjoying the race. I know we threw y'all a curveball here, being on Facebook here tonight, as YouTube is giving us some issues. But for the ones out there that are watching and just love to have that ultra high definition stream, don't fear, it will be going up here shortly. After this race is over, we are recording the race in ultra high definition as well. We will be putting that version up later on the YouTube site once it is done processing and we can get that up. So again, we do apologize for that, but unfortunately it's just not happening. So if you're watching this now, or now it's later in the YouTube side of things, that is why it is not live. It is recorded, but we have just under 12 minutes to go here before we get to qualifying and then the race. So let's go ahead and bring up your point standings coming into tonight's race. You see 14 people there in the point standings. We have more than that here tonight. We have 15 here tonight, and some of these are new, so we'll be having some more in the point standings. But right now, Colin Allman is your race leader, but only by 2 points over Keith Medeiros, who again 40 points, only 2 points behind. I don't see Medeiros here tonight. If he was to show up, that would be a really good battle between those two. That's something we're going to have to look forward to. Michael Goddard is here, 4 points behind with 38 points, currently sitting in 5th fastest here in practice. So definitely Allman and Goddard, two drivers we're going to be watching coming into the point standings, or into the race based on point standings. Fred Moreau back in 4th place, 5 points back. Donald Clark, 6 points out. As you can see, we don't have very many races in, so points are very tight right now. Your top 9 drivers, almost top 10, separated by 10. Just 11 points back is TJ White with 31 points. So we'll see. They could really shake things up here before this is all said and done. Of course, if you go back there, Mike Mahoney sitting in 11th place right now with 30 points. Cade Green with 29. And really, we don't have any ties yet. We could see some ties coming out of the point into the point standings after tonight's race, based on the sheer fact that it's just how it's going to happen. There will be ties throughout the points, especially as close as they are here for this race. But again, we'll go ahead and get rid of those real quick. if you're out there watching on the YouTube side or the Facebook side of things, sorry, share it out there. Let's get this video out there. Again, we'll be putting the YouTube side up here in a little bit. So if you're watching it later on and you hear me say this, it's already up there clearly because you're watching it. But here for tonight, live, if you have it out there, share the stream out there. Let's get it out to everybody. We can get all the viewers out there. Again, typically we double on YouTube and Facebook. For tonight, it's only on Facebook. So welcome everybody to chat. I know you all like us going on board here with these drivers, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take a minute to go on board and see what it's like to be behind the wheel of one of these things as we go silent on the mic. Alright, well, we have a moment here, folks. We just want to, of course, kind of go over this here real quick for everyone. Just let everyone know you're riding on board with some of these drivers. This is what it's like for them. You can see the nice little water bottle in there. Not many of these cars have them built in there. This one, however, does. Here for the super late model, you see how much they're turning this car. They turn it quite a bit, but pretty smooth. This track isn't as bumpy as some we've seen. So a lot of good racing will come of that because of that. So something we will definitely have to watch and see how this plays out. Who is going to be in victory lane this week? It could be somebody new. We'll see. We have, again, a lot of good drivers in here. 16 that have made it. It looks like Russell Brown Jr. just getting to the track, so he is going to be signing in soon, getting into that car to go out on this track and turn in some laps. You can see their brakes there glowing. They are heavy on the brakes here at this track, so this is going to get very interesting here to see how this one works. We may see if we can take a minute here to talk to a driver real fast, as I believe they're getting ready for a driver's meeting, so we may have to check in on that real fast. So give us just one moment. Alright, they are doing a driver's meeting here at the moment, so we are unable to get a hold of them. We waited a little too late here, but we have Donald Clark just getting to the track as well, so he is rolling in. He's going to put that number 18 out on the track, see what he can do here tonight. So again, so far 17 drivers have made the trip here tonight to get this race started. I expect to see some good racing. Hopefully everyone out there enjoys tonight's race. I know, unfortunately, we are only on live on Facebook right now, but we will be on the YouTube later on tonight as we are recording this as well. You'll see that if you're watching it by the time you hear this. So, again, 17 drivers have made the trip here tonight for the AMA Super Late Model Series. We have just about 5.5 minutes left in practice before we get things going. And I expect to see, again, really, really good racing from these guys. They never disappoint. As we saw last week, if you missed it, go back and watch it on YouTube or here on Facebook. Last week was some really good racing. Of course, we saw just about a caution-free race. I believe you only had one caution all night long. Nobody expected that, especially when you come to a short track like this. You expect to see cautions, but it did not happen. We did not see a whole lot of them, and they put on a heck of a show. We'll see that here tonight. I expect to see some beating and banging going on. These guys will definitely tear the fenders off these cars before it's all said and done. It's just how it goes here with short track racing. Again, got some names in here we've met before, of course, and we got some new ones here that were not here last week. Ryan Libby was not here last week. Ray Suggs was not here. Wally Wilson was not here. I don't believe we saw Charles Boggs last week either. Andrew McKee was not here last week. So again, new drivers making it this week that were not here last week. Christopher Reardon, who was not here last week. So again, new drivers coming in here. Russell Brown Jr., I don't recall seeing him last week. So we have some like Donald Clark, Cade Green. These drivers were here last week. Colin Allman, Chris Canfield, Fred Moreau, he was here. We got another new one, Evan Hallstorm, who was not here last week. Michael Goddard here last week. So a really 50-50 split of the drivers that were here last week to the drivers that are new this week. So just kind of a great mixture. Again, 50-50 here as to who's new, who's returning. So I know we were talking to league owner Tyler earlier, and their rosters actually nearly doubled from last week, from around 20 to around 40. So maybe a little over. That right there shows you just how good the racing is. People saw it and wanted in, and they have piled in and literally doubled their roster since the last race. We'll be here, excuse me, all season long. We have officially committed to covering this full series, so we will be here all season long covering all the racing action here from the AMA Super Late Model Series. If you're in chat out there on Facebook and you have a favorite driver that you are rooting for here tonight, let us know in chat. We'll be checking social media throughout the night to talk to the fans out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in chat. As again, we will be checking social media here, Facebook, throughout the night to answer those questions. We got about 2.5 minutes coming up on the clock here before we go to the national anthem. Just a quick kind of overview of what this track is and what it's going to be like here. We got, of course, 4 turns. This is a 0.5 mile track. We're going to be running roughly 18.5 to 19-second laps, just depending on how your setup is. It is open setup. Right now, your wind speed 4 miles per hour out of the northwest. That has been changing quite a bit since we got here just about, I'd say 40 minutes ago or so. 73 degree air temp, 81 degrees for this track. So a nice little warm night, but not too bad. So we'll see if that track temp does go up or down throughout the night. But we have about 1:40 left, so we're going to go ahead and step away, get to the national anthem, and we will be right back after that with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to get down to this track and see where everyone is going to qualify. First, we're going to pull up qualifying and your driver bar. It is going to be Chris Canfield in the 00 machine. We got reports that Madero's not going to be here tonight due to issues with his computer for his graphics card. Oh, that is not good. That brings the the sim relatedness into this game, as it looks like Canfield's going to pull it over. Colin Allman is who will go to next in that 67 machine. But again, we make this as real as we can, but unfortunately your graphics card going out probably be about like dropping a cylinder or something in a real car here. Probably not a complete failure, so it's not an engine failure, but pretty close. It'd be, again, more like a pedal going out or something like that. So unfortunately it will happen, but times are starting to come in. We'll see what they're going to be as soon as they post. And there it is. It's going to be Adam Jocelyn that puts up the top time here with a 19:146. Let's go over to some more drivers. This is open qualifying, so more cars are out there, so you have to try to get your lap in around somebody else. That makes it a little more difficult, but it really makes it interesting for everyone out there watching, that these guys have to do so. Russell Brown with the time in there, the 26:813. That is going to drop him pretty quickly as Chris Canfield to the top of the charts with an 18:916. As we got Ray Suggs currently in third place with a 8:38. And there we have it, Evan Hallstorm with a 19:082. Well, definitely glad to have you there, and hopefully we'll get your team speak working. If you need any help, feel free to shoot us a message. We'll try to help you out with any way we can to get you back here racing with us. Ray Suggs sitting there on the track. Let's go. It's Donald Clark who's going to stop it, but he's currently third fastest with a 19:044, so another good time for him. Let's go over to Cade Green, who has not put in a time just yet in that number 19 machine. He will be doing so soon. Looks like Rolf Just is going to be sitting on pit road. Has not come out yet. Right there will be his first time. That is actually a warm-up lap, so he will have one more lap here. Let's take a look. Fred Moreau sitting right there in third place with a 19 flat. So what a time here for Fred Moreau. Give me. Ryan Blanchard currently in 7th place with a 19.185. With that, having a coughing fit here, Michael Goddard in 8th place right now with a 19.196. Ryan Blanchard right ahead of him. Donald Clark goes up to 4th place with a 19.044. Again, we just covered that one. Let's go over to Cade Green, who has a 19.727, and there it is. That's going to put him in 11th place. As Charles Boggs has a 20.492 here with 1 minute 35 seconds left on the clock. Still, Rolf Just has not left his pit stall yet. He is sitting there in that number 43 machine. Chris Canfield, 2nd place. Colin Allman still sitting at the top of the charts here for qualifying. So we'll see Russell Brown also sitting there. Cade Green, and we'll see they're starting to all peel off the track now. Only a few left out on the track. Let's go over here to Ryan Blanchard, currently 5th fastest. It looks like our current pole sitter is coming back out onto the track. That is Colin Allman, who is coming back out onto the track. See if he can't improve his time just a little bit. He only has .060 over Chris Canfield in 2nd place here so far. It's going to be really close on this race. I can almost promise you that. No, Jonathan, the YouTube is actually acting up for us. For some reason, it will not let us stream in the quality that we need to. So for some reason, it is acting up. However, we are recording in the ultra high definition that we usually stream. So later on, after this race, we will be uploading it to YouTube as well. But at the current time of this broadcast, it is not letting us stream to YouTube for some reason in 1440p, so we are going to have to upload that later on tonight. But we will get that up here tonight, as there's the checkered flag and the wave. Qualifying is over. It is time to get this thing going. As there is your pole sitter right there. Again, your pole sitter sponsored by Evidence-Based Mommy. Pole award will go to Colin Allman here for tonight's race in that number 67 machine. Your Walls Beard Co. starting grid will be coming up next. All right, there you have it. Getting the word in that it was supposed to be a lone car qualifying. Definitely a lone car is easier to follow the drivers, but still some pretty cool to see all these guys out there together. As we're going to get to the front of this race, as everybody looks to be getting onto the grid. We'll have 2 laps around this track because it is a very, very tiny track. But we'll go ahead and go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid for row number 1 is going to be the 67 of Colin Allman with that 18.857. On his outside is going to be the number 20. 20. No, wow, we cannot agree today. Number 00 of Chris Canfield with a 18.916. So not far behind him. On row 2 is going to be the 55 of Fred Moreau and the 18 of Donald Clark. Row 3 is going to be the 5 of Ryan Blanchard and the 47 of Evan Hallstorm. Row 4 is going to be the 83 of Adam Jocelyn and the 37 of Michael Goddard. Row 5 is going to be the 70 of Russell Brown Jr. and the 19 of Cade Green. Row 6 is going to be the 38 of Ray Suggs and the 35 of Andrew McKee Sr. Row 7 is going to be the 03 of Charles Boggs and the 6 of Christopher Reardon. Row 8 is going to be the 46 of Ryan Libby and the 69 of Wally Wilson. And rounding out the field here tonight in row 9 is going to be the 43 of Rolf Just. And that will do it here for your Walls Beard Co. starting grids. It looks like Wally Wilson and Ryan Libby are not going to start the race here tonight. We'll see if they come out of the pits later on tonight, but they did not take to the grid. So we will have to just wait and see if they come out onto the track a little bit later. And maybe they just missed the grid trying to make last-minute changes, as it looks like the 67 is receiving an EOL here. He is going from pole to the rear of this field. So again, there you go. As it's in chat there, we just saw it. They're requesting an EOL to start at the back. That is a gutsy move right there. We'll be following that 67 of Colin Allman here tonight, who requested the EOL. We'll see if he can hang on to it. Meanwhile, we're going to get back to the front of this field. Can he fight his way through the field? Obviously, he thinks he can. That's the reason he requested that EOL. So we'll see. That's going to give the pole, I believe, to the 55, as I believe it is, of Fred Moreau, who is going to get this thing started. And there it is. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here for the Caldwell. The Caldwell Lawn Care Service 100, but we'll put your top 3 back up on the ticker so you know exactly who your top 3 are here tonight. And they come barreling out of the turn into the backstretch. It's the 55 of Moreau on the inside. Canfield on the outside. Canfield's going to have to settle for second here. Again, everyone kind of getting a bonus position because of the 67 requesting that EOL. And we'll take a look here. He's already gained a few spots as these guys back here, as he's going to get by. Actually did it so fast we missed the spot. There he is. Colin Allman sitting in 10th place right now. He's picking them off left and right already, but we're going back to the front to check out this. Let's go to a different camera angle so you can get a better view of this field, as it's going to be a very quick race. We estimate 30 to 40 minutes is what this race is roughly going to take here tonight. as you see there, DNS for 2 of our drivers. So Wally Wilson did not start, and we got a car going around upside down. Caution is out, and that's going to be Charles Boggs. It goes upside down. Let's take a look. What happened here to the 03 of Charles Boggs as he goes upside down here early in this race on lap number 4. Again, you're watching that 03 right there into the wall, collects the 67 almost with him, and you'll see right there he just goes upside down, gets a little push there from somebody, and he will be our first caution here. Let's go check in with the 67 of Colin Allman as well. Now having damage there, let's take a look at that roll bar camera real fast with our onboard camera, of course, thanks to Northwest Racing Series. And that is quite a bit of damage to the car. Not what you want to see, especially when he requested the EOLs. We'll get it out there one way or another. He asked for that EOL, and here he is now caught up with damage because of it. So that's going to make it a little bit more challenging for him. Again, keep in mind as you're watching this, if you're not familiar with short track racing, aerodynamics are not that important. You can beat and bang these cars pretty good before they really take a beating and you just cannot drive them anymore. But again, looks like we are still under caution here. Maybe we could possibly get Allman in chat. I'm not sure if we have him in here with us or not, and it looks like his mic is muted, so we do not have a way to get a hold of him, and we don't want to disturb him if it could interrupt his screen. We don't know if he's using VR or what he happens to be using, so we definitely don't want to throw a pop-up on his screen to grab him. Just a crazy flip there from the 03. Again, he had a little help. That is a product of these cars. They can flip over very easily. You do not want to be caught sideways with somebody's nose pointed right at you. With the way these cars are shaped, they can pick the side of your car up very easily. Now these cars are they are a handful to drive. They definitely are. They flip over a lot easier. And keep in mind, we didn't get a chance to go over it here, but for anyone that's out there watching, these guys that have come down pit road, they are not allowed to take tires. There is absolutely no tires tonight. They have to finish on what they started on. So again, no tires throughout tonight's race. There will be no competition caution either for these guys to come down and take tires. So because it's a less than 100 miles, there are no tires. So this could get very interesting as you see the pace car driving off pit road there, which is a very weird pit road, I might add. It's very different than we're used to at most of these bigger tracks. So there it is, green flag back in the air. Once again, you're watching the Caldwell Lawn Care Service 100 here on Virtual Racing Network, part of the AMA Super Late Model Series, and it is Fred Moreau that's out front right now. He's followed by Chris Canfield. They are duking it out up here at the front. Let's go a little further back to this group. They're really getting together here. Christopher Reardon. It looks like Evan Hallstorm and Rolf Just getting in the middle. Rolf Just sitting in that 43 machine, currently in 12th place, trying to work his way through this field as we go up just a little bit here. Let's zoom in here on these guys just a little bit, as there is the one we want to keep an eye on. Colin Allman to 6th place. Again, he started on pole. He requested an EOL, goes all the way to the back. He has made his way up to 6th place. Even with that damage, we told you it wouldn't really slow him down. It's not an aerodynamic dependent track, so it's not going to hurt him too bad here as we're on lap 11 of 100 here for tonight's race. So far, I expect about 30-40 minutes worth of racing here tonight. As we'll see, that's starting to be a really good battle. That is currently for 5th position between Allman and Goddard. Goddard holding them off here for the most part. Let's go up front. You see there is your leader, the 55 of Fred Moreau. Nothing really in his way right now. Canfield hanging on behind him, but currently 0.533 to 0.6 seconds separating them as we'll put your top three back up on the ticker. Not a whole lot going on here at the front of this field. There's the 18 of Donald Clark. He's trying to get up there to him. You see, as we got a car going around, I do believe, and it's into the grass for the 35 of Andrew McKee. He is going to get it going back in the right direction. No caution will come out for the 35 in that Tabasco pepper sauce machine. He's got heavy damage, but again, I think he'll survive here, as damage is not that important on these cars. So we'll try to talk to one of these drivers if we get a caution or two. But let's see, only one caution so far. You see the front of this field. Let's zoom out here so you can see this field. There's probably one of the first battles you have going on between the 70 and the 67 of Allman and Brown, as there's a caution coming out, and it is going to be for Christopher Reardon. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened. What happened to the number 6 here, who was about in the top 10 position, now back in 14th. What happened to that number 6 machine to bring out caution number 2 here at the Speedway? We're taking a look. He hits the wall right there, goes out of the camera, and smacks the wall hard, goes around, and that was what we saw in the back of the camera as he goes around, and that will be caution number 2 here tonight. Again, caution number 2, we're on lap number 17. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We will be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on lap 19. We'll get the green flag here with lap 21. We'll have about 80 laps to go when we get it. Again, once these laps start ticking off and they start getting into a groove, we're not going to be racing very long. It's going to be a very short race, as it typically is with short track racing. They are fast, furious, and done very quick. We'll see right now. It is Fred Moreau out front, followed by Chris Canfield and Donald Clark are your top 3 drivers after currently 19 laps completed, as the lights should go off this time. Looks like we may have about 79 laps to go when we get the green. Again, if we get a chance and we can catch one of these drivers under caution with their mics unmuted, we'll definitely try to get a word in with them. But while we're under caution, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. And Frank, let us know if your feed is still frozen. It shows live for us and all is good. So definitely let us know if it is frozen for you still, but hopefully it is not. It looks like we are just about ready to get this thing going one more time here for tonight's race. Pace car is diving off. Let's get them going here for the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100. As there it is. The green flag's out way at the line basically before they ever got the green flag. What a battle going on here between these guys, though, as that 67 of Colin Allman has worked his way all the way up to 4th position. Again, if you weren't here at the start, he took the EOL, and he has worked his way back through this field. That is good. Frank, to hear that the stream is good for you there, that is definitely what we want to hear. As we're watching that battle right now, .333 between Moreau and Canfield. Moreau has the lead at the moment But here comes Allman. Can he get up there? Third place now as he gets by Donald Clark for fourth. He's working his way through this field, and he is on a mission to get to the front and doing a great job at that. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's your leader right there, that 55 of Fred Moreau, who started third. He's up to first. He really got a good advantage here as he's able to lead every lap, and that is, of course, because your third place driver right now, Colin Allman, did request the EOL. So, of course, that bumped him up one row. It gave him the lead, but there's somebody they got to watch out for right there, and that's Sim Marketing Solutions 00 of Chris Canfield. He is on the move as well. Hasn't quite been able to get up to Moreau, but he is trying everything he has to get up there and make something happen. Just to give a quick update here is we have 75 laps to go. We are a quarter of the way done with this race. Ryan Libby, Wally Wilson did not start the race. They DNS tonight, and Christopher Reardon is currently out of the race. So unfortunately did not make it. He's 12 laps down. So unfortunate for him, but he will be scored with a DNF here for tonight's race. Let's go back here as we got a car barrel rolling. Caution is out, number 3. As we will go and see, that is the 5 of Ryan Blanchard. Let's go back and take a look what happened to him. Already had damage here on that number 5, and we caught him mid-roll here. So what happened to him is the question, to send him rolling like he did. We're about to find out. We're back about 30 seconds here to the replay right there. And not sure if he had contact before or not. Let's go back again. Let's go to the blimp camera here. You're watching the 5 back there at the very back of your screen. And we'll see if this was a case of just getting loose or if he had contact with another driver. Right now, the 38 gets a bump from the 83. That gets him a little loose. But I don't think that played a factor in it. No, it didn't. Oh, there it is. The 38 gets to the 5's back bumper. And just like that, we told you these cars roll so easy. You see the 03 of Charles Boggs. After his roll, he's like, nope, I am not touching this car. I just got it fixed. And he knows all too well how easy these cars can roll. So he will stay back and not try to damage that car or possibly flip his car any more than it already has. So definitely a different car here when it comes to flipping. It's very easy to do, and we got a minute under caution here. Let's see if we can't pull someone up in here and get them. See if we can't maybe get Evan Hallstorm. So give us just a minute. All right, we are back here really quick before they go racing. We do have the 47 of Evan Hallstorm in here with us. So first off, welcome to the booth for the first time. And what is it like out there on this track? We've seen a few more cautions than we have last week, and a lot of beating and banging going on out there.
Yeah, right now we're just riding it out and gonna see how the race plays out, and then just try to save our stuff back here in 7th, and hopefully make a move at the end, and we'll see what we got.
Oh, definitely. One last question before we let you go. They put the rule in, unless it's over 100 miles, there's no tires. So obviously we like it. It's gonna be good, but we'll let you answer that later because y'all are going green.
Yeah, pretty much right now we just got to save tires and build your set to save tires and be there at the end. And then when we get that halfway break race, we'll just build our set for 50 and or whatever the laps are and have some fun.
Well, we'll definitely looking to see how you finish, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, again, that was the 47 of Evan Hallstorm as the green flag is back out once again, or at least it will be here in a second. There it is. There's green flag back out. We're racing here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Top 3 back up on your ticker as it's Moreau out front, and here comes Allman. He's going to get to the inside of the 00 of Canfield. Can he get him officially? He's got to completely pass him. It looks like he's going to do a good job. Can he get by him? Yes, he will. Allman up there to get it, and we got 2 cars spinning in the back as it's going to be Adam Jocelyn and Russell Brown Jr. Well, let's go back and take a look. So caution coming out back in the back here. Let's go to the blimp camera to get a better view of what is going on here between the 70 and the 83. You're watching them right there about mid-screen. As you watch right there, the 83 gets a slight bump to the 70, and then the 70 goes through the grass, so a fairly uneventful bump there. It was probably the lightest bump we have ever seen from 2 cars, as the 83 barely got into his back bumper, but it was enough to spin him around. Keep in mind, these guys have tires that they cannot change. These guys have had 35 laps on their tires, so every lap does count, even though some of them have been under caution, as we'll bring that up real fast. You, of course, had 4 cautions for 18 laps of these 34 completed, so we've had quite a few under caution laps here, so that's going to save these tires a little bit, which could produce some really good racing here towards the end of this race, because of the fact that they have those tires to spare, or will have the grip on the tires to spare. So definitely later in this race, if we can go green from here on out, these caution laps, while they aren't ideal, they could be beneficial, because you are getting to save your tires. So we'll see here later on in this race, once we get to those 20 to go, 10 to go, how it plays out and who is going to be your race winner later on tonight. But we want to thank everyone, of course, for tuning in here tonight, regardless of who you're rooting for, who's your driver. We're glad you're here, but let us know in chat there on the social media who your driver is here tonight, as we definitely would like to know, and we're getting reports there in chat too that Ray Suggs 30-second penalty for aggressive driving with previous incidents. So a 30-second penalty, which I assume will have to be served under green flag conditions, as he is out on the track right now, and they're in that 03 machine. So beaten and battered car here in that 03, and now getting a 30-second penalty on top of that for aggressive driving. So he will have to come in and serve that under green flag conditions. If I'm correct on how that will have to be served, I do not believe you can serve it under caution. Otherwise, it really wouldn't do you much good. Although here it may put you a lap down anyway, nearly. So we'll see. There are a ton of Sim Marketing Solution cars out here tonight, at least 2 in the front, as we are set to get the green flag one more time. Green flag is in the air. We are racing once again here with the Caldwell Lawn Care Service 100 on Virtual Racing Network. This is, of course, a division of the AMA Super Late Model Series. The 18 gets around. Can he save it? He does, kind of. He goes to the grass with the 37 as well, and both of them manage to recover from it, sort of. And both of them are going to lose several spots all the way back down to 11th and 12th, but a caution does not come out as they are off the racing surface, going off-roading in the dirt. As we'll see, Allman is running down your race leader right now of Fred Moreau. Moreau trying to hold off Allman as long as he can. He's led all 39 laps that we have completed so far in this race. We now have 60 laps to go here in your main event for tonight. Again, we told you it'd be some really good racing, and that's exactly what it's been. There's a lot of beating and banging going on. Keep in mind, you're watching the 67, and why it's important here is because that is Colin Allman, the 67. He opted to receive an EOL here at the start of this race. Here he is, again, started first, went all the way back to 17th, actually about 15th technically, and here he is trying to battle for the lead with 59 laps to go. We've completed 42 right there at the line on lap number 43. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. Go back in and take a look, see if we got any other battles going on here. At the moment, not too much going on the track, so We'll have to keep a close eye. We have a little bit of a battle going on here between the 19 and the 83. That is Cade Green in the 19 and Adam Jocelyn in the 83. Those two are, yeah, they're getting fairly close, but they haven't actually got real close here, so we're going to keep an eye on that. As it looks like the 83 is trying to change that. As it looks like Jocelyn's going to get to the inside of Green. Can he pass them? They're side by side going down the front stretch here. And we'll see, it was going to be Green that had him at the line, but here comes Jocelyn back to the inside. That is a battle for 5th position to get a top 5 here tonight. We're keeping an eye on that lead too, as we'll go back up to it. Currently 0.199, now 0.233 seconds separating first and second. The 67 of Allman all over the back bumper of Moreau, but he just can't get him cleanly, and he's not going to wreck him to get by him. That's just not his style. So he's going to have to keep trying. He's going to have to try to get to the inside or possibly get to the outside. But Moreau doing a very good job of holding him off here, as he has now led 46 laps. We are just about at the halfway point here, as we have been live on the air for just about an hour, about 51 minutes. Of course, 15 of that was the pre-show. We told you it'd be very quick. And of course, we had 15 minutes pre-show and about 5-10 minutes of qualifying. So a very short race, as we have not been covering it too long, but we're watching this battle for the lead between Moreau and Allman. Allman still trying to get the lead. He has not gained it back, as he has found a fierce competitor in that 55 machine here in tonight's race. So again, we're watching that here a little bit. Let's zoom out here. Well, maybe not. Oh, almost gets to his back bumper. Again, Allman almost getting to Moreau's back bumper there as they cross the line. It's now 51 laps to go. This next time by, we will be at the halfway point. Let's zoom out here, see if we can't find some more battles going on here. At the moment, you see there where we're going through this field, not a whole lot going on here on the track right now. There's the 37 of Michael Goddard, and he is again falling back a little bit with the 18 of Donald Clark. Both of these guys here had just went through the grass here recently, and they've fallen back quite a few spots. They're trying to work their way back up through this field, but right now that is going to be difficult to do, as they're just so far back that it's just not really working out for them too well. Back to the front we go, though. The 67 still, again, Allman still trying to run down that 55 of Moreau. Moreau doing a very good job of holding him off here tonight. We'll go back here to that 37. I thought we saw the possible spin going on. That is not happening, so let's go a little further back here, as you have the 35 of Andrew McKee, who himself has gone through the grass, and a caution did come out, and you see the damage to there. But again, we pointed out earlier that damage doesn't matter when it comes to these cars. As you see with the 67 of Allman, he was involved in a very, I wouldn't say vicious wreck, but it did give him some damage, and unfortunately it did give him enough that, I wouldn't say it hurt his car, but it probably slowed it a little. It may be the reason he hasn't officially been able to get by your race leader here, is we might see some lap cars coming to the picture here. That could change things. So we're going to watch this battle here for just a moment. All right. Again, we're watching this battle. We want to keep an eye on it throughout the race here. We have 44 laps to go. We just talked about we had 60 to go. We now have less than 50 to go. 44 laps to go. Make it 43 as they cross the line, as we now have 43 laps to go. I told you once they got into the groove, these guys would get it going, and that is exactly what they are doing here. As the caution is going to come out right as we say that. We'll see who is it going to be for, And I believe it's going to be for... No, I don't know who the caution is for. Let's go back and take a look, because I don't see anybody off pace here at the moment. So I don't see anybody again off pace. Well, let's just go back to the front here. We won't go back and look at this one, as we just don't know who that one was for. But we will step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
I spent my whole life chained to the wall, hunger for more, not afraid to fall. Had to cut a man down to get where I am, but someone had to tumble and someone had to stand. Don't try to fight, there's nothing you can do, and I'm gonna run all over you. It's too late to try, there's nothing you can do, I'm gonna run all over you. I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now. Yeah, I'm looking for new blood, and nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna stop me. Looking for new blood.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I think I just changed my voice there during the middle of this. We are under caution, as we were reading in chat what officially brought out the caution. Again, caution did come out, and we are getting ready to get this thing going one more time. We'll see. We currently have 39 laps to go. The lights are still on the pace car, so it looks like we're going to take another lap around this. So we're going to have about 36, 37 to go when we officially get the green flag coming up here in just a few moments. As it's, again, some great racing. We hope everybody is enjoying tonight's race. I know we have been, and we are getting ready to go one more time. All right, there it is. A green flag is getting ready to come back out once again. As you see them getting bunched up really tight. Green flag back in the air. We're racing one more time. Will this be the final restart of the race on lap 64 of 100? We have 37 laps to go. Let's zoom in here as we're watching the battle for the lead. Monroe, Allman, Canfield, and they're going side by side. Allman to the inside of the 55 of Moreau. Can Moreau hold them off here in the final stages of this race? I don't think he's going to be able to. Allman gets by him on the inside, and he will officially pass him, but can he hold him off? As it looks like they're going to go side by side going into turn 3 and 4. They're still side by side, and it looks like the 67 will have the lead as the caution comes out. Let's go back and take a look. It looks like Allman will be scored with the race lead as we're watching the 18 of Donald Clark, who brings out the caution, or had help bringing out the caution, we might say. We'll see what officially happened to bring it out as he comes up and possibly had some help here. Did the 37 and him both get together, and he goes for a wild ride on the backstretch, riding up the wall, and that will bring out the caution once again. Here is, again, as we see, it looks like the 67 of Colin Allman will officially be scored as your race leader, as he was just barely edging out Fred Moreau to get the lead. As again, we are under caution, so we're going to step away here one last time. This should be hopefully our last caution. 34 laps to go. Going to be about 30 to go when we get the green flag. All right, we are back as the lights are off on the pace car here. Here you're watching the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100 here on Virtual Racing Network. This is the AMA Super Late Model Series here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and it is time to go racing one more time. So, hang tight, let's go. Green flag is out, and they are holding nothing back here as you got them going side by side. The 55 of Fred Moreau is going to drop back a few spots as it looks like Canfield's going to get by him in the 00 machine. They are side by side. This is exactly how the lead was taken when the caution came out as Moreau goes back. Jocelyn, who we haven't talked about a whole lot here tonight, there's Adam Jocelyn in the 83. A little bit of damage, but he is going to get by. It looks like the 55 is going to get stuck on the outside and get railroaded here late in this race. Just a disappointment if this is how it's going to end. You lead 64 laps, 29 laps to go. They get 28 as they get to the line, and now you're going to lose 3-4 spots here in the final laps. This is not how you want the race to go for you. This is going to be a devastating finish to, if nothing else, at least finish in the top 3 would be probably a little satisfying, but that may not happen as we're still watching that side-by-side battle, and it looks like a little bump there from the 83 of Adam Jocelyn to Fred Moreau, and that's going to bump him out of 3rd place back to 4th. Again, I don't know if I'd say he deliberately went up and bumped him. These cars on old tires are going to slide up the track. So that may or may not have been a little bit of a bump saying, hey, you know, give me a little room. I'm going to bump you up a little bit. Or as much of a fact that his tires are just that worn that they just wouldn't stick down on the bottom of the track. Probably that is the case. We'll definitely be talking to the 83 of Jocelyn if we get a chance. Let's see. There you see Hallstorm gets by Moreau. Moreau back down to 5th place right now. So tires starting to fade here for the 55 of Fred Moreau as he is falling back through this field now. These guys have tweaked their setups here. Only 2 of our top 5 have pitted. 2 of the top 5, 3 of them have not. Allman and Canfield have not been down pit road at all. They have made no adjustments through these cars whatsoever. Again, they cannot change tires at all anyway. No tires will be allowed here unless they have more than 100 miles in the race. And with 100 laps, we are not going to do it. So we are very interested. We love this rule, and it makes for some very interesting race. But here comes Moreau. He's going to take 4th place back from Evan Hallstorm. Hallstorm dropping back to 5th place. We'll check in. We got cars going around. Will it bring out the caution? Caution is out once again. Let's go back and take a look as we have several cars involved, and I believe the 18 was involved in that. So let's go take a look. Right here you see the 18. Let's go to the blimp camera and see exactly what happened. As I believe the 18 was involved. We're going to find out for sure. Right there, contact me between the 18 and the 19. More contact. Again, more contact. And there you see the 18 and the 19 getting together. The 70 saying, see ya, I'm not going to be a part of y'all's mess. And those 2 get it going there. So iRacing throwing the caution maybe a little prematurely there. But iRacing is known for doing that as those 2 get it going once again. But they have heavy damage to both of their cars as we have now 20 laps to go when we get to the line. Again, we want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. I know everyone expected us over on YouTube, but YouTube giving us issues. So if you're here right now, thanks for showing up here on the Facebook side of things. Of course, if you are watching this later, we are actually recording this as a version in our ultra high definition. We will be throwing that up on YouTube after this race is over, so you will still have the ultra high definition version out there to watch. As we had to do some digging and research to figure out what we could do to record that for you. But again, thanks everyone for tuning in here live on Virtual Racing Network for the AMA Super Late Model Series. As we are on race 2 or 3. I believe this is race 3. Maybe 2. Not even 100% sure. We get so wrapped up in just how exciting the racing is in general. Sometimes we forget what race it is. But regardless of what race it is, it doesn't matter. We have some really good racing here. Just to recap, since we have 19 laps to go, going to be about 17 when we get the green flag. Of course, we have Ryan Libby and Wally Wilson, who did not start tonight, receiving DNSs for tonight. And then Christopher Reardon and Ray Suggs receiving DNFs as they are out of the race now, as you see on your ticker up there. Those guys are out and DNS. Those drivers did not start or they did not finish tonight's race. It looks like we'll see if those lights are going off on the pace car this time. They are indeed. 17 laps to go when we take the green flag. The question, of course, will that be the final caution of the night, or will we see another one? Well, we're about to find out here momentarily as the green flag is set to come back out. As after tonight, we are going to be off here till, I believe, Sunday, as we have a new league coming on here for a one-off race. So make sure you stay tuned Sunday for the World of Thunder. 2 different races going on. We'll be covering that all live here on VRN. But the green flag is back out, and we are racing once again here. 17 laps to go. It's going to be the 67 of Allman that gets the lead, or maintains the lead, but he's got Canfield right behind him, Jocelyn behind him as well. That 83 has come to life here in the closing laps. Hallstorm trying to hang in there, but he's got Moreau all over. Moreau trying to make something happen with him, and we'll see. The 47 may get the benefit here. They are side by side. Let's go and zoom in on that battle. Side by side, it's going to be the 47, and once again the 55 of Fred Moreau gets railroaded on the outside, as here comes the 37 of Michael Goddard, who has not been down pit road, has not repaired his car at all after being involved in some incidents, but it does look like it has little repair done to it. He may have come down, it's just not registering with us, but he has definitely fought his way back, and he does have a little damage. But to go back from about 13th place all the way up to 6th place, what a run here for Michael Goddard tonight in that 37 machine after a early incident on the track. Let's go back to the front here. Colin Allman still hanging on to the lead with 13 laps to go here in your main event. Can Canfield, no pun intended, do anything with the 67 of Allman? Canfield in that 00 machine currently a few seconds behind, or less than a few seconds, 0.633, almost a second behind. We'll see, that is down to 0.16, so he is closing the gap, but is he going to be able to close the gap close enough, or soon enough to get the lead? Now 0.566, and Canfield do it? Again, no pun intended. Jocelyn behind him trying to get up there as well, 1.083 seconds, so that gap has closed, but now Canfield back down to 0.616 seconds, so the gap has widened once again here for your top 2 drivers. We'll see. It's right now. Caution is out once again, and it's going to be for the 35 of Andrew McKee here tonight. Let's go back and take a look. What happened to the 35 is we're going to go to the blimp camera here to get a better view. As you're watching the 35 of Andrew McKee all by himself pretty much on the track. As, he does have the 43 behind him of Rolf Just. Both of those are currently on the lap. Just breaks loose on him going into the corner. And he will bring it to a stop in the grass, and that is what will bring out the caution here. I believe if we will take a look here real fast, that is our 8th caution of the night here for 37 laps. 9 laps to go. Going to be about 6 to go when we get the green flag. Of course, anyone that is unfamiliar with iRacing, once you hit 5 to go, if a caution comes out, the race would be over. Nobody wants this race to end under caution. So this could get very interesting here tonight as Allman leading this race. This could be one of the last chances that Canfield has to try and get the better of the 2 starts. He could try to get a better start than Allman, but Allman will probably be on his A game here. Both of them, of course, have 93 laps on their tires, so it's not like either one of them had any good out of their tires. Be interesting here to see how this goes. Everyone here, of course, has extremely old tires. We'll be waiting to see how this one goes. Again, this could potentially be the last restart of the race here. If we get a caution with 5 or less to go, the race would be over. So we'll see, will this race end under green or will it end under the checkered flag or the yellow flag? We'll have to find out here soon. So if we get to that 5 points to go, it will either be the yellow or the white flag that ends this race, and it could be a drag race to the end. Well, there you have it. We're watching social media here. Tyler letting us know that it was the 83 that brought the caution out, as we saw the 35 go around and assumed that was the caution, as he did go around there on the track when he started spinning. So 2 incidents happening independent of each other at the exact same time. It is a rare occurrence, but it happened. So again, the 83 being credited with it. So definitely interesting to see when 2 separate independent incidents do happen, who he does give it to. But what we're about to find out, folks, is will this race end under yellow or will it end under green? As the 67 already on the lap pedal here, 5 laps to go here for the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100 here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and he gets a huge jump. Let's zoom out here a little bit. We want to keep an eye right back here as it's going to get dicey. Here comes Jocelyn in that 83. Will he be able to get by the 00 of Chris Canfield? Will he have to rough him up a little bit to do so? We're about to find out. He's not quite close enough to do it at the moment, but he is going to keep trying. This race is not over. 4 laps to go. If the caution comes out, this race would be over. As there it is right now, 3 laps to go here in your main event. The 47 almost getting to the back number of Evan Hallstorm, almost getting to the 83 of Adam Jocelyn, but they steer clear of each other. They don't get into each other. There's going to be 2 to go at the line here for the 67 right there. 2 laps to go for Colin Allman. Leading this race, he's only led 34 laps. Moreau has led the most at 64. He's back in 5th place right now. His chances have come and gone, unfortunately, as it could be the 67 sitting in victory lane. Chris Canfield, just not quite enough for Allman here as the white flag is in the air, presented by Northwest Racing Series. 1 lap to go. That's all that remains here between the 67 and victory lane. Can he hold off the 00? I think he can. He thinks he can, as he is going to bring it down the front stretch right there. And your race winner tonight is going to be the 67 of Colin Allman, who led 36 laps here tonight in the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100. You had a great race here for the AMA Super Late Model Series. Let's go ahead and get to your unofficial race results, as it has been an exciting race here tonight. Go ahead and get rid of that there. Let's bring up your unofficial race results. Getting the win here tonight, of course, is going to be the 67 of Colin Allman. Second place will be the 00 of Chris Canfield. Third place will be the 83 of Adam Jocelyn. Fourth place will be the 37 of Michael Goddard. And fifth place will be the 55 of Fred Moreau. Sixth place will be Cade Green. Seventh place, Andrew McKee Sr. Eighth place will be Ryan Blanchard. Ninth place, Rolf Just. 10th place, Donald Clark. 11th place will be Russell Brown Jr. 12th place, Evan Hallstorm. 13th place, Charles Boggs. 14th will be Ray Suggs. And 15th place will go to Christopher Ridden. And of course, past that here tonight, We have Wally Wilson and Ryan Libby did not start tonight's race, so we will just mention them. There's honorable mention, but did not officially start the race here tonight. Give us just a minute. We'll be right back with your top 3 drivers here in the post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the post-race show for the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100 here on Virtual Racing Network. If you're just tuning in, well, you might want to rewind first and watch some of the racing here for the AMA Super Late Model Series, as coming in a third place here tonight. That is going to be, hopefully, again, we got this right, Adam Jocelyn. Hopefully that is the correct pronunciation for that. So let us know on that. And 2, we kind of talked about you a little bit early in this race, and then we kind of let you slip off the radar, and you snuck back in there in the closing laps here like a little secret ninja of some type. But how is that car handling out there that came to life here really in those last closing laps?
Well, I just want to say thanks to Colin for the setup. I know I'm not as fast as him, so that first half of the race I was just riding around the back saving tires, and I just did my thing there and let everybody beat on each other and snuck back up through there.
Well, that is a big part of getting through these short tracks, is getting yourself through the field without getting any damage. And speaking of that, we're seriously going to be talking to our race winner about that here in a minute. But, a big key, obviously, again, being clean and consistent, hitting your marks here. We heard earlier that turn 2 could have been a problem for some drivers. Again, that's just kind of the grapevine stuff we hear. So, was there a particular turn here that was more kind of problematic for the car? It didn't want to handle it as well?
Always definitely going to turn 1. There's like a bump going down into 1, and the car wants to wash up. So you either want to you want to try and get the car down below that. And coming off the corner, it's just hard to get the power down. So if you can roll the center and get the power down, you're going to win, which obviously Colin did.
Well, it definitely did. And one final question here before we let you thank some sponsors and shout-outs. We saw earlier, actually it wasn't earlier, it was later in the race, there where you kind of bumped the 55. Obviously, it was not a hard bump, and bumping is part of racing. Sometimes you just have to bump people a little bit to nudge them up a little bit. Was that the case, or was it just these tires getting so worn out that you just really couldn't hold it down there as good as you could earlier in the race?
I'm sure he didn't mean to, but I was trying to keep the car down pretty low, and I really couldn't keep the car any lower. There was a little bit of pinching there, so I think we were side by side for 3 or 4 laps, and it just split up, which happens, but it was no big deal.
Yeah, definitely, it was not a very slight tap. That wasn't anything major, and we kind of figured those tires were just not quite wanting to stick as well as they were earlier. We saw it last week. It's just a product of short track racing. We know you got some sponsors and shout outs on that car, so who would those be for that third place finish?
I want to thank Patriot Media, Davis Chassis Works, FSM, and the iRacing Short Track Jesus, Colin Allman.
All right, again, congrats on third place here tonight, finishing one spot ahead in second place. That is the 00 of Chris Canfield, who has some fans out in chat here tonight as we were watching a chat here. Started second and finished second, really pretty much stayed at the front of this field all night long. Obviously, there's a key to staying up front. So what is that key to keep yourself up front and not sliding back through the field as we saw the 55 do late in this race?
Well, I was obviously going to say track position is huge, but obviously Colin coming from the back proves my point wrong. But it always helps to start up front. You start up front, it's not too hard to stay up there if you got a good setup like I do, thanks to everybody at LeDuc Matthews Racing.
Well, definitely track position is key. That's been my verdict here. Track position is always key, but again, we're being proven wrong by that a little bit here tonight. Looking forward to the season here, as we've got to talk to some drivers here. This race, of course, anything under 100 miles, or right at 100 miles anyway, you don't get any tires. I know a lot of people like that, so give us your thoughts on getting or having to run this race on one set of tires. It seems to produce some really good racing.
I personally like the no tire rule because I feel it puts more play into saving tires and conserving them as long as you can, and just not beating it up early in the race and then you can just go in the pits and take a set of tires and you're as good as you were when you first started the race. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the no tire rule.
Well, definitely, it is a awesome rule, and you obviously know how to conserve them pretty good as you finish second place here, and didn't really waver too much as far as moving from second, third, fourth. You stayed right in there, and looking at your fastest time of a 19.264 and a 19.578 was your last time, so times didn't waver too much for you there either. So a great job of conserving them and finishing in second place. We know you got some shout-outs and sponsors, so who would those be for that second place finish?
I'd like to thank everybody at Sim Marketing Solutions, especially Todd Kirkwood. Couldn't be here without him. Everybody at LeDuc Matthews Racing, especially Ryan Matthews and Justin LeDuc, for all the setup work they put into this thing to make it run up front.
All right. Again, congrats on second place. And, of course, the man of the hour, the one that we want to talk to, that is your race winner here, the 67 of Colin Allman. Again, we want to talk about damage. We talked about it during the race being a short track race. Damage isn't as important as somewhere like Talladega Superspeedway or Daytona, somewhere like that where aerodynamics are so dependent. And being that you opted to receive the EOL here after taking the pole, are you glad damage isn't that as important after you took that EOL, getting another car right into your door early in this race?
Yeah, it's a good thing this place has tight corners. It's a half mile, so some aero will come into play, but this place races more like a short track than it will a half mile. Yeah, man, I wanted to start in the back because I wanted to see how my set would turn. Got to give a shout out to Michael Goddard. I ran his set tonight with a couple of my own tweaks, and we bounced off ideas, and I liked the way his was turning in through the center better than mine. I was just lacking drive off, but I don't know what happened there on the backstretch early in the race. I was just under a guy, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of right front damage, but at least we were able to come away with the win. It was a lot of fun. We had to dodge some wrecks, that's for sure.
Definitely, it was a kind of a treat out there watching you get around this track as you go from pole to the rear end of this field and then work your way back up through the field. We wondered when you got it if it was a penalty or not, and then of course we got the word that it was requested. So obviously it was a good move here for you. to go through this field. Who knows if you'd have started up front, how things could have ended differently. You never know in racing. It's just that type of sport where you could start anywhere and be involved in anything. It doesn't matter if you're the front or the back. But an outstanding run here. You led 36 laps, not the most laps led. But again, as we've said before, it's not about how many you lead. It's which one you lead. You did that. You led the last lap. You know, I don't know if I'd say dominant performance, as Moreau did lead more, but almost dominant because you did come from the back to do it. So just an outstanding finish. We know you got some sponsors, and shout-outs on that car. So who would those be?
I gotta give a shout out to Sim Marketing Solutions. Can't thank them enough for everything they do, and gotta thank the guys at Funkstress Mafia. Shout out to Michael again for letting me use his set. Thing was cutting, that's for sure. And shout out to Adam, top 3, and I think we were 3 out of the top 4, which is good. Me, Adam, and Michael, and then Kay Green finished in 6th tonight. I think this is his first extended race finish, and he finished in 6th, which is awesome. So can't wait to see what he brings to the table a little bit later when he gets more experience.
Definitely, your team performed well here tonight. You performed well here tonight. Overall, a great race. Once again, a few more cautions than we saw last week, but some still great racing. Of course, we will wrap it up here for tonight. That will do it here for the Caldwell Lawn Care Services 100 here for the AMA Super Late Model Series on Virtual Racing Network. Again, for the ones that are watching it in ultra high definition, that'll be later on tonight when we upload this, as we're having to record it due to YouTube issues. But we will be, of course, back on YouTube as quickly as possible, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see y'all at the next race.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.